right, this is Renee from Fraley Farm Mini Homestead, back at you today with a cooking video. Guess what we're going to fix today? Fried rabbit and gravy, guys. Yes, we are. So as you know, I raise rabbits, and that is one of the primary meats that we eat here in the house, and it's nice and lean. It's actually even leaner and healthier than a chicken breast. So these are the ingredients that I use. As you see here, I am an old school cook. I do not measure, I just cook. But I'm going to attempt to write down a recipe for you guys who are interested in possibly fixing this dish. So in the green bottle is olive oil. So I'm going to go ahead and get that in my skillet. Get that going. And then we're going to go ahead and season the meat. I coat the bottom of my skillet. And not quite a quarter of an inch of oil, but slightly less than that. All right, so we're going to turn this up on medium high. We're going to get that going, and I'll get back with you here in a second. I figure I'm probably going to use about roughly 2 cups of the seasoning flour. And for those of you guys who are not familiar with this, this is the Kentucky Colonel. This is the bomb dizzle. This is the good stuff there. Let's say about 2 cups. Paprika is good to make your fried foods nice and pretty. I'm going to say maybe half a teaspoon. About a teaspoon of pepper. And when I cook, I like to see my seasonings. You know, I know some folks, they probably think, oh God, that's a lot of seasoning. No, it ain't. I want to be able to see it. I want to be able to know that they're there. So I'm going to say maybe half a teaspoon of onion powder. About a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Lowry seasoning salt. Maybe a 1/4 of a teaspoon. I try not to make things too terribly salty because I got high blood pressure. I ain't trying to be dying over some rabbit. I don't fry foods that often. Mostly I fry in the air fryer. But when it comes to this bad boy, oh yeah, it's got to be the real thing, y'all. All right. I don't know if you can see. Hopefully you can see some of the colors in there. You can see your seasonings. That's what I want. All right. I don't add too much salt from the beginning because I figure when you make the gravy, you can add more salt to it if you want to. Just gonna stick my hands in there. Give it some love. Let me see if the skillet is ready. Move you over this way. Oh yeah. All right, that bad boy's almost there, y'all. All right, let's come on back this way here a little bit. I try to do the largest pieces first because they take the longest to cook. Once that skillet gets nice and hot, I'm going to turn the temperature down just a little bit, okay? Shake it off a little bit. Go ahead and put y'all back over here. And you want that skillet good and hot when you put that in there. You want that grease hot because otherwise your breading is going to fall off, and we don't want the breading to fall off. We want it to stick and want it to be nice and pretty. If it sticks, it does, and if it don't, it don't. You know, life goes on. It still tastes the same. Got a little bit of a sizzle. That's what we want. All right, on to the next piece. All right, once I get these all in, I'll be back with you, okay? All right, now I got this bad boy in here frying up. Got these pieces in here. Now, you can see I turned my burner down from medium high to just slightly over medium. Here's medium right here, so this is between 5 and 6 or whatever you want to say. So When you fry rabbit, I don't know how well you're used to frying it or cooking it, but you ever hear the phrase low and slow? That's what that means, okay? I don't put it on low, but I do fry it for probably a good 35, 40 minutes, if not more than that. It's going to take you a minute, okay? When it gets real good and golden on one side, then you flip it over to the other. When you're frying, try not to flip-flop, flip-flop, flip-flop. You fry it on one side, you flip it over, fry it on the other side. Every once in a while, some of these bigger pieces, I may kind of tilt it or prop it against one of the other pieces to let it fry a little bit more on the sides, but it's going to take you a good while. We'll come back when this is nice and golden brown, and then I can show you how it looks like when I flip it over, okay? I don't try to cook it 100% with frying it, because when I get done, I'm going to put it in a skillet full of gravy, and I'm going to let it just settle and just cook real slow, okay? And when I put it in the gravy, it's going to simmer for probably a good hour or two, okay? So that'll continue to finish cooking it all the way. All right, I'll be back here in shortly. All right, I wanted to show y'all. I went ahead and flipped over the skillet on the left, and y'all see how nice and pretty that is? That's going to be done way before the other one, because these are much thinner pieces, okay? All right, let's work on this one here. Hopefully y'all can see and I don't smoke you out. Look at that. Ain't that pretty? I forgot to tell you, the reason that I use the paprika is because paprika makes your fried foods real pretty and golden. I also forgot to mention that I cover the rabbit too while it's frying. Yeah, look how pretty that is. Oh man, that's beautiful. I'm gonna turn these kind of on the side because they're such a large pieces. So I can get that loose and not lose all my batter. All right, we'll be back. All right, I'm back. So I've already taken out the few pieces that was in the other skillet. I'm going to grab these little small pieces in here, just kind of wiggle it around. You can see it's nice and golden on both sides. Got that nice little crisp on there. I like to put my, like a piece of ream or two of newspaper underneath, and then I put some paper towels on top. And then that's how I like to drain my fried foods, because I don't want a whole lot of grease in it. See all them good old crunchies in the bottom? Oh yeah, boy. That's what we're going to make the gravy out of, okay? So when you are doing your initial breading or for your meat, whatever flour that you have left over, wipe my hands off, we're going to use that for the gravy, okay? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take out the smaller pieces. The large pieces, I'm going to let them cook just a little bit longer, okay? Alright, now you got to watch these fried foods, because they will splatter up and hit you in the face. Don't want you to get hurt. Now, my large pieces, even though I did lose some of my breading, that's okay. It's in the skillet. I'm going to use this to make my gravy. You see, this one is almost naked, but that's okay. It's going to taste the same. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pour some of this oil off into this other skillet. Normally I pour it into either a real heavy glass container or a metal container. You don't want to pour it down your sink, or you're going to be calling the plumber. And you definitely don't want to use one of them little cheap glasses, because otherwise you're going to have a problem. It's going to explode. We'll leave a little bit of oil in the pan. And definitely leave all the crispies and crunchies, because that's what's going to help to make your gravy. I went ahead and turned my burner off. Woo, that's hot. And I'm going to get that oil to kind of coat the bottom of the skillet just a hair. And remember that flour that we had? That's what we're going to use to make the gravy. Put that flour back in there. I'm going to turn that skillet up. I got it up on medium high. And I'm going to take a wooden spoon or some kind of a spoon and cook this flour. You don't want any flour showing, otherwise you're going to have clumps in your gravy and it's going to look crazy. So you want to get the oil to completely coat your flour. You want to scrape the bottom of the pan real good. Get all that good old stuff off the bottom of it. All them good crumbs. All right, when you no longer see any flour, that's when you add your water. All right, now this is going to steam up, so just be careful. This is 1 quart of water. And you're going to keep that burner on high. I'm turning it to high now, okay? Because I want to get it cooking. Let me get another quart of water. All right. All right, went ahead and added the other quart of water. Now I'm going to go ahead and start adding some salt and pepper. And for this one, I use pink Himalayan salt rather than the seasoning salt. And then quite a bit of pepper. I guess I just added maybe a half a teaspoon of pepper. But you season at this point what you want it to taste like, okay? I like my gravy to be sort of a medium thickness. But if you want your gravy thick as, I don't know, pudding, add more flour to it, okay? I like mine kind of in the middle. If you want it thinner or it's too thick for you, just add more water, okay? So you can always adjust it to your taste and your liking. I've got it boiling on high, but I'm getting ready to turn it down to kind of medium high there. And this is going to thicken up the longer it cooks. Probably not going to be super thick, but I don't like it super thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep adding salt or pepper or both until I get the taste that I want. So you'll want to taste this from time to time and see if the taste of the gravy is where you want it. Once you get it tasting the way that you desire, you add your rabbit into the gravy, kind of cover it real good with the gravy as much as you can. Turn it down to low, leave the top on, walk away. Come back in about every 20 or 30 minutes. Just kind of look at it, eyeball it. I take my spoon and kind of run along the bottom of it just to make sure my pieces are not sticking to the bottom of the pan. After mine simmers for about an hour, maybe 2 hours, ready to eat. You can add onions if you want to and put that on top of your rabbit once you put it in the skillet. That's your choice. I'll come back and show you the finished product. Alrighty, so I got my rabbit in the gravy. I'm going to turn my burner down from medium high down to about kind of between low and medium. I'm going to let it stay there for about hour, hour and a half, even maybe 2 hours. I'll show you the finished product soon. Bye-bye. All right, folks, finished product. All done. Oh yeah, we about to do something, y'all. Yummy. Thank you, God, for our food. Y'all have a good night. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for supporting my page, you guys. Have a good night.